Greetings, guitarists. I hope you're doing well. Like the thumbnail said, the bee is back, and the subject of this video is how to build a better bee part 2, and we're starting right now. So looking at the original Bumblebee, when Edward first got this guitar, the back of the neck, and I couldn't find any pictures that showed this clearly, but right here you can see that black stripe right there. The back of the neck and the back of the headstock was also black. So when I went with my design, I of course just decided, you know what, I'm just going to finish the top of the headstock, and of course put the great Charvel logo on it. I almost forgot to mention this. When I received my maple neck and ash body, because of, I guess, copyright reasons, they have to do things a little bit differently, and I mean copyright with any of the Fender products, Fender's necks and bodies and so on and so forth. So what they do to get around that is that they'll leave like a little tip right here, which you'll have to cut off. Okay, here's my idea for the Bumblebee bridge. What I did was I got some good old Rust-Oleum. First I tried to etch it, using a Radio Shack etching solution, and thinking that I could take that layer off and take it down to the nickel, but it didn't quite work out. So what I did was I got, you can paint over metal and chrome, so I just got some Rust-Oleum. Did a good job matching the color. I believe this color here is called a dark walnut. So it's funny because it's like, it has that kind of grayish look, but it also looks black. But then again, you look at it again and it looks kind of like brown. So anyway, what I did was I took the saddles off, oiled them up really good, and then just shot them individually with this Rust-Oleum. And I think cosmetically it's going to do the trick. All right, just starting to put this together. I've got the bridge, got my Super Distortion pickup. And what I did was I got the center line where the wood meets, because it's built, of course, in 2 pieces. This is an FR2 style Floyd Rose. And of course, I got a new arm from StewMac for it. Then you got single tone control. I'm gonna wire it up soon. But anyway, what I did was I took a piece of tape and followed the center line, came in between the bridge here. Here's that little trick you can do. You can get a level, put it on the body, and then measure the exact height, which looks like it's 1 3/4. So that means you're gonna have 3/4 of an inch and 1/2 quarter for the halfway point. So that way you can get the exact measurement for your eye hooks. Got the size 6 eye hooks put on the bee, as well as the pickup, and I got the bridge. Single tone knob. What I'm doing here is the headstock. I'm actually kind of finishing it so it looks like the original one. I don't know if you ever finished guitars before, but I'm using the process. Of course, I used primer, and then I used about maybe 10 coats of black, put the logo on, and then I shot maybe about 7 coats of clear. I think I'm gonna do about 4 more. And then you do a lighter sanding, a wet sanding, like maybe at 1500s, and then going to 3000. And then you're gonna use a polish compound, kind of like what they used for cars, to give it that shine. Here's another tip, and you guys may know this already, but if you're new to soldering, and of course I learned the hard way, you wanna make sure you get a nice shiny tip. It's called, and there's a bunch of guys that'll show you on YouTube how how to tin this properly. Basically, you're just running some solder over the top of your tip when you have, and this is kind of an older, well, I've had this soldering iron, this Schaller soldering iron for a while there. But what you do when you get a new one is that you want to run a little bit of solder at the tip there. And once you do that, it's going to work perfectly. And there's plenty of guys that are showing you how to properly tin something. But yeah, it's called tinning your soldering iron. Little tip for you, as you know, I'm finishing the top of this with nitrocellulose lacquer. And remember this, that your humidity has to be between 45 and 55 in order to keep getting moisture trapped underneath the lacquer. Like, you know how this appears a little cloudy, but there's a perfect thing made by Mohawk. So I'm a huge fan of Mohawk products, and this stuff is great. You can spray it on, you know, maybe let your nitro dry and then spray this on. But what this does is it's like a blush. It's called no blush retarder. If you make a mistake of painting with the nitrocellulose and you get that cloudiness because of the humidity, this blush retarder works perfectly. It gets rid of that whole issue for you. But anyway, it's called the Mohawk No Blush Plus Retarder, and it's a great product. You'll see later too, when I finish the neck, I'll also use another Mohawk product. It's a tongue oil, but I'll show you that when it comes time for that neck to be finished in oil. I just want to give a quick endorsement for StewMax polishing compounds. I just started using this with the bumblebee neck, the top of the headstock. So I've just started using the swirl remover, and then they have a medium. You can buy these in 3s, and then they have a fine polishing compound. But just with the swirl remover, you can see how I'm already starting to get a glass-like shine, and that's really pretty nice. That's where we're at with this. All right, so here's that modified tongue oil from Mohawk that I was telling you about. Probably going to do like 3 coats of this on the bumblebee neck. I believe the original bumblebee was it also used an oil finish. I know they at least did that with the 50 authentics that they made. But anyway, yeah, you guys gotta take the precautions with this stuff. It is highly flammable. It's also known to spontaneously combust, which is kind of scary. But anyway, yeah, make sure you do it in a well ventilated area, outside. That means outside for a lot of us who don't have a shop. But anyway, I'm gonna put like 3 coats of this on the bumblebee neck. So just with the first coat, it does kind of make that bird's eye pop a little bit. I'm thinking it's going to be more than 1 coat, maybe 4 or 5. But anyway, between coats, you put it on pretty wet, and then after 15 minutes, you wipe off the excess and with a clean cloth, and then you let it stand for dry for 24 hours, and then you can add additional coats. So I think the light sanding, what it does is it helps kind of give a little bit more of a sheen with the Mohawk tongue oil. All right, okay, I've got about 4 coats of the oil, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to buff it out with a paper towel. And then I'm going to probably give it 1 coat of this gunstock wax from Birchwood. Another great product. Anyway, it should make the neck nice and smooth, and it'll be ready to be put on on the body. All right, so get a separate clean cloth, and then I'm just gonna do like one coat of this gunstock wax, and then we'll be done with finishing the neck. Yeah, so definitely shake this stuff up real well, and then use a separate clean cloth to apply the gun wax. And I guess they use this for guns as well. But anyway, I'm going to start applying the coat right now. Well, I put one coat of this stuff on. It's got me thinking that I'll probably do the back of my Strat neck, but anyway, it even smells good. All right, just about ready for assembly. More times than not on Strat tremolo systems, a lot of times you'll have to put in a shim, and all that is just, maybe cutting that about 1/4 inch or so, and then just putting it in between the neck and the body slot. So, kind of gives it enough of an angle. Don't ask me why, but it does work. Sometimes you can't get the string height low enough unless you have a little bit of a tilt. Okay, got it all together. One thing about this older bridge, it doesn't have any little grooves, so you actually have to kind of eyeball to get the stuff in the center. So anyway, it's an old style bridge. Did have to make this hole bigger, and got to put that down with some super glue. But let's give it at least the tremolo test right now. So I've lubed the nut, and let's see here. So let's do our little dye bomb test. Nice. The A's a little out. Rest of these seem to stay in tune pretty good. All right. Well, let me glue this knob on and let's go plug it in. Just to give you a little bit of what I'm playing through, just a distortion pedal. I don't know if you heard about the Pinnacle, the Wampler Pinnacle distortion pedals. They're very nice. The people that are big fans of these swear that that's like the brown sound in a little pedal. So anyway, playing through that and a solid state DV mark. So all of this came together really nicely. The tongue oil, love the bird's eye maple neck. The only issue I have is that I got these parts from Lock Guitars. The neck is a little bit too fat, too baseball bat-like. So, but it's still a comfortable playing guitar, and I really had fun putting it together. Let me give you a shot of the back. So Kip over at Star Guitars just did a great job. Let's see, I even came up with the templates for it. So I'm going to find some way to put them on my website so you guys can download them. Throw me a couple bucks, because I looked high and low all over the internet to try to find templates for this thing, and there wasn't any. So the templates that I do upload are going to be definitely made considering the lock guitar bodies and all that kind of thing. So they're kind of specific to that. So I'm very happy with the way it turned out. Action's low. How'd that let go? Yeah. Anyway, it's a fun guitar to play, and it definitely turned out really good. I'm very happy with this instrument. If you guys have any projects and things like that, if you're working on the same project, please share your pictures or anything like that, or anything you encountered when putting something like this together. So anyway, have a great day, guys.